What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to talk about how I scaled my brand to six figures in just the last couple of months. My name is Daniel. I run a clothing brand called Apologetic Letters. And yeah, I just want to show you guys everything, specimen game, and in terms of my entire playbook for how I was able to achieve this, where all of my traffic came from, how I was able to actually convert on all of this. And I did all of this with absolutely no ads, no ad spend. So yeah, I just really want to help anyone out there who is looking to grow their business, specifically in the clothing niche, or I guess anyone that's in e-commerce, I guess this could help for. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. All right, here is obviously the marketing funnel. I'm assuming most of you are probably familiar with this in some aspect, but let's just go over this really quickly. So obviously, when anyone goes to buy from anyone, whether that's like buying a bottle of Coke or you're buying a new hoodie, in one way or another, you've gone through this funnel. So everyone starts from having have no awareness of the product to having some awareness out of it. So top of funnel, that's just trying to get as many people as possible to look at what it is that you are selling. So this is where you establish awareness. So someone goes from having never seen anything about you or your brand or your product to at least having seen it once, whether that be a TV commercial or a TikTok that you made or something like that. You've got that top of funnel. Now, as you continue to go further down the funnel, that is where you actually get closer and closer to that conversion to actually, of course, where we want to have someone purchase our product and or service. So middle funnel is getting more towards consideration. So now that they have some awareness of it, okay, you actually taught them a little bit about it. You maybe established a stronger brand presence in their mind. So I'm sure you all have your favorite brand or brands. And so you can think about how you maybe went from just about learning that brand to actually you really like the founder, maybe you really like what the brand stands for. You learned something about a quality aspect of the product or a feature that's really important to solving a need that you have. So obviously that's getting towards the middle of the funnel, and then bottom of the funnel is really towards driving action to someone actually buying it. So generally, when you are marketing in the bottom of the funnel is where you have the least amount of views oftentimes, when we're talking about like making TikToks or IG Reels or just kind of content in general. Generally, when you try and do something for a broad array, a broad array of attention, you're hitting that top of funnel, and then it gets lower views, and then generally bottom of funnel. But you're really driving that CTA. You're trying to get someone to actually buy the product, and so that's really a lot about hitting someone at the right time as well. It's something I've learned, which is why marketing is so important, because you constantly need to be promoting yourself out there, because it's just so competitive. And someone might not want your hoodie right now, but 6 months from now, they may be in the market for a hoodie, or their favorite hoodie just got destroyed for whatever reason, and then they saw your alternative hoodie and they really like it. I don't know, but there's a million reasons why someone goes to buy something, whether it is end up being a gift or whatnot. So that's why you constantly need to be marketing in these three parts of the funnel. Okay, so let's start at top of the funnel. So for my brand, Apologetic Letters, and just a quick preface, just to show you guys what I actually dropped, just so you have some context. I dropped a World Cup collection over the course of several months from March through June/July. So yes, this definitely helped that I kind of played into the hands of a cultural moment, I think, rather than just dropping these standalone without the World Cup involved. So that definitely was a big part of how I played into this release in general. Just wanted to give you guys the full context, because I believe that definitely helped, as opposed to, again, just kind of dropping these pieces without the World Cup involved. But yeah, it came out to be a bunch of knits. I did this jacket, some shirts, and the World Cup ball hoodie. So we can talk about the design and things like that a different day, but I just want to give you some context to what I actually released. Okay, so top of funnel. So here is all of the sessions I got throughout this World Cup release. I'll have a bunch of these other stats blurred out, but I'll show you guys this. So just to give you guys a kind of top-down overview of how I was able to get all the traffic. So 48,000 sessions right here, essentially just like someone on the site. Through TikTok, we had just over 37,000 on Instagram, just under 8,000 on Twitter. I'll go into Twitter and why I found it to be a very underrated source of getting attention. YouTube, 6,600, and then Pinterest at 500, and then I don't know if really anything else counts outside of like doing email and SMS, which I'll get into later. So we'll start with TikTok, the one that has 48,000. So here is my TikTok strategy. What I have learned is that you just need to find what works best for you. So I still consider myself to not be very good at TikTok, still have a lot to learn and just grow as a, I don't know, TikTok or whatever. And so I have both a personal account where I do mostly a lot of posting about my brand and recent things I've designed, as well as the brand's actual account. So I think with the brand's actual account, I just go straight into marketing products, just a lot of like flat lays and, you know, typical stuff you may have seen of something like this. And then I've had some that actually hit pretty well. So again, I've also been promoting this stuff since like the beginning of the year, since like January when I had my first samples of a lot of this stuff. So it wasn't just that I started in, you know, March, April, and then the sales just came. So definitely had a lot of preparation going into this, but it's really also a lot about getting momentum and then sustaining that momentum. So I think that helps a lot. And so here is the playbook for me right now, is making a lot of video TikToks on my brand account, and then on my personal account, I do a lot of carousels. Where I'll do something like this. I take selfies all the time. I'll do something like this if I'm in some type of location I think could be semi-viral just because of the way it looks. So I think that one, I happen to be in Chicago with like a bit of the skyline in the background, and I just took this random picture. And so I used that and then just showed a slideshow essentially of everything I've been working on. And this one did almost 800,000 views, was really, really big. You can go to the analytics, see all the link clicks. But really, it's more about consistency. So I'm just constantly trying stuff like this. Again, rewording the actual like copy in the first slide. And so that's been a major part of just gaining a lot of those link clicks that you saw. Again, it's really just about rewording things. And then I did do a handful of videos. Again, my videos don't really do that well. You can kind of see like this one only did like 1,200 views, 82 likes. But again, it's just about getting that volume up. So a lot of these are carousels, and then honestly I need to be making more. I think more is always better. And then over here we have a lot of these videos. So now my first kind of, I don't want to say hack, but big way I think I've really exploded with my growth has been especially video TikToks. Every video TikTok I have right here, whether it be like one of these, this kind of style has worked really well for me, where I just zoom into a mirror like this and then show a bunch of the products I'm working on. I make sure that I have it set on my phone to where it that video saves to my phone. And then once I have it saved to my phone, then I go on to YouTube Shorts, which you may or may not have seen on here. And then I am cross-posting those exact videos, not really changing anything other than the caption, because it slightly is different on YouTube Shorts, and posting it over here. So now that video that I posted over here, even though it only got maybe 1,000 views over here, now I've cross-posted it over here onto YouTube Shorts, and it's gotten 1,500 views or another 2,000 views. Or some of these I've done, if I go to my most popular ones, we have 360,000 views, 170,000 views. So I've also learned, at least for me, because I'm still trying to work better on building brand and community, but I think right now I'm really trying to funnel in the sales and grow that part of it, and then kind of back into some of those other things I've talked about. So what I was trying to say is that a lot of these views are very scattered in terms of how much they get. So there's not a ton of consistency, but it's a very select and few amount of videos that have been probably driving a lot of those clicks and whatnot, and just getting attention. So again, I'd say most of these videos are only getting like between 1,000 to 5,000 views, which is nothing crazy. But then we just had a handful of heavy hitters in here. This one that did 363,000. Didn't know I was gonna play the audio. And then we have these other ones that did like over 100,000. So I can guarantee these like 6 videos right here probably carried like 90% of the overall clicks and whatnot. And so after I've posted there, then I have one other place I post to, and that is Instagram. Now, not in the traditional sense of Instagram Reels that you've probably all been accustomed to, but I'm talking about something called Instagram Trial Reels. So I'm not able to look at Trial Reels on my Instagram on my laptop, so I actually took a couple screenshots of this. Basically, Instagram Trial Reels is a way for you to post a reel, but it's only shown to people who have never seen your Instagram account before. So this is an example of one I did right here. This one did 280,000, 375 follows, and then a ton of engagement. I think I have a screenshot of the engagement on one of these. So this video right here, this was one I posted on TikTok. I don't even know if I did well on TikTok or not. And honestly, all of the algorithms and just the way that everything plays is just so different, which is why I think it's really important to be cross-posting from TikTok onto YouTube Shorts onto now Instagram. You can do it as Reels and or trial Reels. This reason I'm using this thing called trial Reels is because I post a lot of these on my main personal account. But I don't want to be like super spammy. It's a little different. Like I feel like TikTok can be way more spammy because most people I feel like that see one video won't see you again until another like 8 to 10 videos later, unless you're like a super loyal, person that's into your TikTok and what you're doing on there. So I feel like Instagram's a little less like that. Obviously, Instagram's still different in terms of the way the algorithm works, but I feel like if I were to put a lot of these videos and just put them on my IG, it's going to wear people out because they're going to see them way more often as opposed to TikTok. So trial Reels is a perfect solution for that. You can post it onto there, and then it's pretty much almost like a hidden, when you go to post, it'll be at the bottom. You toggle this little thing that says trial Reels, post it there. Then when you go to your Instagram account and you look at your Reels page, it won't show up there. But like when I look at my Reels page, I have this little kind of almost like hidden tab called Trial Reels, and I can click on there, and then I'll pull up the full list of everything I've been posting. So here's an example of like my Trial Reels list. I kind of just scrolled a little bit. So you can see all these videos, very varying amounts of views, but again, that's fine. We're just looking for volume and just giving ourselves more at-bats to have some type of virality and whatnot. So you can see over here, these ones did 2,500, 1,500. This one right here in the middle, World Cup Nits, I'm dropping this spring to 93,000 views. I can guarantee that drove some traffic and or attention. I think this is my most recent one I posted here with some new knits I've been working on and this other product I'm working on. So again, none of these really did anything crazy, but it all compounds, right? And then it's really important to be responding to every comment, every DM that comes off of all of this traffic too. So I feel like that really helps too, more in like that middle to bottom of funnel when you're actually interacting with the potential customers. So that's really how I got most of my top of funnel attention, guys, is really what from those three sources of just, again, it's pretty much the playbook nowadays, but I'm just showing you how me specifically was able to find my way, and everyone else has their own way. Maybe you're really good at video on short form, and so you're just able to crush it there. Some people are better at long form YouTube and able to kind of gain attention there. For me, I found that my personal account using this kind of carousel style has seemed to just be what works best for me. So I do that a lot, and I'm trying to expand more to get video more involved because I think video is more powerful than carousels for sure. People want to hear you speak and learn more about you and see what you're into. Yeah, these carousels, 300,000, this one, 250,000. Those have been just some examples of some very monumental TikToks I made. And then again, I think this cross posting, especially on the brand account, I feel like it can be way more like spammy, if you will, and just trying different things and then seeing what works. And then even if it's like not a great video, I'm still cross posting it onto IG. And you can also use that trial Reels on your brand page. I know another strategy a lot of people do is they have their brand page, then they have like a backup page, and then instead of posting trial Reels, they'll just post like those Reels I kind of just showed you on like their like backup page or archive page or behind the scenes page, whatever. So that's something I want to try soon. So I need to just make a backup Instagram page for my brand and then post a lot of these on there. And so I've seen a lot of people do that. But that is getting a lot of that top of funnel. And obviously, also, sorry, I had Twitter and Pinterest on here. So real quick, Twitter has been a big source of me getting attention. I think at the start of the year, I will say Twitter is definitely more of I think like a long game in my opinion to really like grow that account to where it has a lot of able to get traction, because I feel like in the very beginning, you're just tweeting into the abyss. It's very difficult to get any sort of traction. So I think it took me, I remember looking at it, took I think 13 or 1,400 tweets before I got to like 100 followers, which is like, it's insane, right? But now that I have even just 2,600 followers on Twitter is enough for me to where I tweet something out, and it definitely has potential to have some type of virality. And you can still go viral out of the gate. I think it's just, in my opinion, way harder than like an Instagram or TikTok. But one thing that worked really well for me was this whole concept of quote tweeting. This is actually one of my friends that I met online. And so really, I think again, specifically looking at like a clothing brand, or like you're trying to promote like your clothes. This could also work for like promoting some other type of product that you're promoting online. I'll look at like people in my kind of niche or industry that are posting just their work in general, and sometimes I'll just quote tweet their entire thing, and then just like repeat their caption, and then just do like a similar format. And so this is actually, he told me this is how he blew up, and then so I tried this exact thing. And this was my first viral tweet that did 700,000 views. And then I can't look at the analytics, X or Twitter, they make you pay for that, which is stupid. But I know for a fact that I got a lot of traction and things that came off of this, and I got a ton of DMs asking about different products. So again, going back to every single comment, I made sure to respond to, as long as it was like semi-positive. If someone just like saying some BS or trying to talk you down, like I've just learned to just like let them be. But for the most part, it was like positive. And yeah, I think just responding to every comment, this goes for any social media, whether it is TikTok. Like if you go onto this very viral video, this has 2,400 comments. I think 1,200 of those are mine, because I responded to every single comment that I could that was remotely positive. Even if it was just like 2 fire emojis, I at least like the comment or respond. And especially if someone's asking like, hey, when does X come out? Or can you tell me more about this product? Or can you try making one of these? I will at least try and respond to someone, because it makes them feel seen, of course. And it's also just important to establish genuine connection with your community, and or if you're meeting, other people online. You never know what kind of new friends you can make, and connections or whatnot. And then sometimes also just try and send them a link to the site, letting them know something's released. So there's a lot of ways to go about that. But yeah, I'm very big on being active with DMs and comments, and just trying to respond to as many people as possible, especially while I still can, especially in those early stages too. Like I promise you, you have the bandwidth and power to do that. And so I highly encourage you to. I think even on this YouTube Shorts, it was a very similar thing, where again, you can look at all these right here. I'm responding to every single comment, right? I think on YouTube Shorts as well, or just YouTube in general, you can respond with like a hyperlink, which I think is really powerful versus just like a link. So yeah, I think it's important to respond. And then lastly, Pinterest, real quick. I haven't had any major success there. I get 373,000 monthly views, but from what I have seen from some people that have gone very viral on Pinterest and have able to get a lot of recurring traffic there, it kind of just compounds over time, right? Like again, it's only a handful of of pins that I've like gained the most attention and gone like kind of viral for me, that has most of that traffic. But I really don't have to do anything once these pins are out there into the world, because it just, again, it's evergreen. And so yeah, I think it's definitely just a volume game. Sometimes I'm even posting the same thing but trying different captions and whatnot. So again, a lot of these don't have like a lot of views, and I haven't seen a ton of success from Pinterest. Again, that's only, let's see, how many, 500 link clicks from Pinterest, which is not a lot, and then maybe I convert 1 to 2% of that. So it's really only been like 5 to 10 orders off of Pinterest. But I do believe in something with the longevity of it, and I just like having multiple sources of traffic, even though I think it is most important to be focusing on the 1 or 2 or 3 that are really driving the majority of it. I do think there's something there with Pinterest. Okay, we talked all about the top of the funnel. Now back into the middle of the funnel. This is where I really think proper IG was important. So I kind of ran a semi-simple playbook for all my releases. So I started teasing this back in like the end of last year, and then out the gate I came out with the ball hoodie. So my playbook for this World Cup went marketing video. So I did a short film for every single video or every single product I did. I released them one at a time, so that I was able to put as much attention and effort into each individual product instead of just like one big release, which I did end up doing like one bigger release towards the end, which is why even though I showed you a bunch of those products, there's no other videos in here, because I wasn't able to do it in time. I had a really long lead time for a handful of products, and so I just had to get them out like the week before the World Cup started. I didn't have time to film or anything. But for these other like 4 products, I was able to do these kind of really cool short films. All of them were a little different in style. I did one where we referenced Shaolin soccer. That was a really funny one to film. Again, we did that first one, which is just like good vibes, and like I played a FIFA track, FIFA song on that one. This one was for the Hand of God, or not Hand of God, Flying Dutchman, Robin Van Persie sweater. So I had a Dutch friend kind of speak in Dutch and do this video, which was really cool. And then we did like the Hand of God one here, which was really fun to shoot. So each one started with that video. Then I went into doing a giveaway with them, which I think this video kind of went crazy. And then, or not this video, this giveaway went kind of crazy. So I would literally just post some pictures of the product itself, have it to where it's like, tag a friend, and I'd give away 1 or 2 of these before drop day. So we have video, giveaway, then we went into lookbook. So the lookbooks were nothing like crazy, but just made sure to have some really cool shots. Shout out my guy Steve, who did the lookbook for all of these, and also all of the models you see are just my friends. I just give them free clothes, and they enjoy doing it. So that's how we do the lookbook for each one, shot on the same site where we did the video. And then each one I would try and do like a little ad, if you will. So this one definitely was the most successful one. I actually did 1,800 likes on this one, which is really crazy. So this one just went, sometimes you can have like photos or carousels go viral on Instagram. So this is a case of that. I did this ad that says inspirations everywhere, use it. So obviously the inspiration of the Adidas World Cup soccer balls before blended into the World Cup hoodie that I did. Let's see, the other one for the knits, I had this style where I would just come up with like a really short caption, and then I was like a close-up shot of the knit, but you can kind of see like what was happening. So break the rules for Hand of God, obviously can't handball in soccer. Take flight, that's just something I came up with for Robin Van Persie when he did that header. And then keep the ball alive, I just said keep it alive. And so all of those continue to do very well. And then obviously everything helps each other. So when I have the viral TikTok or something on IG, trial reels, or a tweet, I'm trying to funnel people onto my Instagram, either my personal account and or my brand account, and then so that just helps drive everything up. And so I think it all just helps each other when you have all of these social platforms. Kind of, if you're thriving on all of those, it all kind of feeds off each other. And so getting back into the middle of the funnel, I would really say this is where a lot of that came from, whether that was like the really cool videos that we would do combined with like the lookbook. So it helps to obviously have people that are seeing these first of all, so you have to get that initial attention, but I feel like this really starts to drive people further and further down. And then I would consider when we start to talk about the bottom of the funnel, that is where something like these ads come in. So this is pretty much I'm posting these right when the product goes live. So and the lookbook or giveaway, I forget, as where I would announce like dropping this sweater on Saturday at this time. And so I would post these ads right when the product is live. And then I would also use my email marketing. So I use a site called MailerLite. I don't think it's really the best, but just something I've been using for a while, and I don't really want to change right now. So if anyone has any other recommendations, I'm all ears. But yeah, generally on drop day, I'll generally do 2 emails. I probably should show you both of those. So I generally do a preview, and that'll just be like, here is a picture from the lookbook. Here's when it releases. Here is just a little bit about it. So again, this is more like middle to bottom of funnel. Site opens tomorrow, and then I'll also send an email when the product is live, just showcasing that ad and shop now. There's no like trying to inform you of anything. It's just like, here's the product, buy it if you are finally have been driven down that funnel and are really into the product or whatever. And then lastly, SMS. Now, SMS is killer, guys. I love text marketing because of just how good it is. So obviously email, just think about it. When's the last time you really bought something off email? You might be someone that buys off email consistently, but I feel like most people don't really buy that much off email or that consistently. But text, right? Everyone's still always on their phones, and as long as you're not bombarding them, which for me, I only send texts when new products are live. That's the only time I send messages out. So I have a pop-up on my site to get your phone number on there. I don't do anything where it's like give 10% off. and you put in your phone number, I think that's valuable for a lot of people, but I've tried not to be like a, I don't know. I just something about like giving away like the 10% off rip like that quickly. I don't like personally. So I've managed to grow a decent little following on my, not following, but a decent list for my SMS and email. And then SMS converts like crazy as long as you have like a product that people actually want. So yeah, the conversion rate on SMS is higher than anything I've ever done, especially, compared to email and whatnot. So that is really like where the bottom of funnel comes in. So again, in that middle to bottom of funnel, I'm really just focusing on responding to every comment, doing a really cool, more long form creative video. So that's where I do these videos on IG, and I'm also posting these on TikTok, I think, and I'll change it up a little bit. And then we're doing the lookbook plus those ads on drop day and email and SMS. And that is really my entire playbook for achieving six figures in just a couple of months for my clothing brand. I had never done six figures in a year prior to this year, and then I was able to manage to do that in just a couple of months. So that was really cool. Really just trying to grow and again, capitalizing on momentum. Obviously, a World Cup is over today. The final is in a couple of hours, so really excited for that. But yeah, I changed my brand to go fully into footy. Then I'm probably going to do a rebrand right around the end of the year or early next year. So this is actually just like a little preview piece of that. But yeah, a lot in the works. And so I just hope this helps at least one or two people to kind of visualize and see what it really takes to get someone from the top to the bottom, and then give you like very practical, I don't know, at least a visualization, a very practical visualization of how I was able to do that. So obviously it's not, this is exact playbook's not going to work for you for a variety of reasons. We're all very different. We all have very different skills. This also took me a long time to compound and have a okay, ability on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and tweets or in Twitter and all those things. Everything just compounds over time. You get better at them. So yeah, if you haven't already, I would try and look at these channels again. Prioritize TikTok and Instagram Reels if you can. Definitely hop on Twitter if you have some time. I mean, if you can spend 10 to 15 minutes a day trying to just promote your work on Twitter, I would highly, highly, highly suggest doing that. And then you can look to expand into other social media platforms. And then, yeah, of course, always grow that email and SMS list, because that is super, super valuable. And that's really all I got for you guys today. Hope everyone's doing well, and I'm going to try and get back to, I know I've said it multiple times, but weekly videos, that's the goal. So hopefully we're back on that. And yeah, thank you for watching. Hope I helped someone out today, and I'll see you guys again next time. Thank you.